Have you ever wondered how Roman legions managed to march for thousands of miles, face brutal battles, and still keep their army perfectly supplied? The secret behind this military dominance wasn't just in the strength of the soldiers or the shine of their swords. It was in flawless logistics and secret engineering that few people know about. The truth is that without an extremely well-planned logistical system, Rome would never have conquered and maintained its vast empire. How were these strategies developed? How did supplies, transport, and troop organization work so perfectly? Today, you will dive behind the scenes of Roman legion logistics, discovering details that no one has told you before. Stay until the end to understand how Roman military engineering was the true pillar that sustained its dominance for centuries. But before we dive into this incredible story, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss one of our videos filled with historical insights about ancient Rome. The first encounter with the warehouses, the backbone of every army. Upon arriving at the camp, Flavius Maximus comes across the impressive Horium, the massive warehouse that stores essential provisions. Inside, he sees sacks of grain, barrels of oil, salted meats, and other food supplies that keep soldiers sustained even when far from Rome. This structure is not just a storage unit. It is the beating heart that keeps the Roman war machine running. Flavius watches in admiration as centurions meticulously organize the stockpiles, ensuring that every item has its designated place and function. He learns that without this level of organization, campaigns could be halted due to a lack of food and supplies, ultimately compromising battle efficiency and troop morale. This realization sparks in him the understanding that battlefield victories depend just as much on logistical discipline as on combat bravery. At the end of this first encounter, our young legionary already understands that logistics is the backbone of the Roman army. Have you ever wondered how this system shaped the fate of an empire? Leave your like now so we can continue bringing you impactful stories like this. Training and preparation, the ritual of the camp. After understanding how the warehouse operates, Flavius begins his intensive training. He learns how to set up and dismantle military camps quickly and efficiently, a crucial skill for maintaining troop mobility. During this process, each soldier is given detailed instructions on organizing equipment, distributing supplies, and establishing safe routes for provisioning movements. During the exercises, Flavius witnesses the importance of a flexible system that adapts to harsh terrain conditions. He realizes that in campaigns across deserts or mountains, the ability to reorganize camps and maximize available resources can mean the difference between victory and defeat. This hands-on experience teaches him that logistics is just as strategic as the battles fought with weapons. With growing confidence, our young legionary starts feeling like part of a much larger mechanism, where every move is calculated to ensure survival and mission success. If you already knew about this intriguing detail, leave a comment and share your thoughts. Caring for the wounded, humanity in war. Shortly after settling into the camp routine, Flavius witnesses the intense care given to wounded soldiers. Amidst the chaos of battle, medical teams composed of doctors and assistants quickly mobilized to evacuate injured combatants from the battlefield. This rescue system, which later evolved into valetudinaria, military field hospitals, was vital for preserving lives and maintaining the army's strength. While observing the transport of the wounded, Flavius learns about the initial treatment, procedures, the application of bandages, the use of plant-based medicines, and even the handling of rudimentary surgical instruments. Although primitive, this system demonstrated a deep sense of responsibility toward the men risking their lives for Rome. The care for soldiers was a priority, reinforcing the idea that each legionary was invaluable. This experience leaves a lasting impression on Flavius, making him see war not just as a battleground, but as a space where solidarity and medical organization were fundamental. With every soldier evacuated, he gains a deeper understanding of the logistical complexity behind every military operation. Foraging, the art of utilizing local resources. After witnessing the medical support system, Flavius is assigned to accompany the troops on an expedition into enemy territory. Here, he discovers the concept of foraging, the collection of food and resources directly from conquered villages and fields. This strategy not only met immediate needs, but also weakened the enemy by depleting their local supplies while increasing the army's self-sufficiency. During the journey, our legionary observes how soldiers organize into small groups to gather fruit, hunt animals, and even negotiate with local populations when possible. Foraging revealed a practical and adaptable view of logistics, allowing the army to advance through regions where traditional supply lines were unfeasible or too risky. This technique was especially valuable in mountainous and hostile terrains, where natural resources became strategic allies. By the end of this phase, Flavius recognizes that foraging is an essential skill for any commander seeking to keep troops moving. Have you ever wondered how these ancient methods still inspire modern strategies? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. Rationing, the art of managing scarcity. In the midst of a months-long campaign, the Roman command decides to implement a strict rationing system. Flavius observes the meticulous distribution of food and water, where every grain and every drop is carefully calculated to ensure the men's survival during times of scarcity. This method of control not only prevents famine, but also maintains troop morale, reassuring them that, even in the most difficult moments, there is a system behind their sustenance. During this phase, our legionary sees firsthand the hardships soldiers face when resources become limited. He notices the temporary tension, the exhaustion on their faces, but also the discipline that prevails among the ranks. This experience teaches him that rationing is not just an economic measure, but a vital strategy to ensure that every ounce of strength is preserved until the decisive moment of victory. The control of supplies becomes a true game of strategy, where every command decision can mean the difference between the continuation of a campaign or the army's collapse. This tactic, masterfully used in battles such as the Siege of Alesia, reinforces the idea that well-planned logistics is just as decisive as combat tactics. Roman roads, the highways that connected an empire. With supplies well organized and discipline at its peak, Flavius is assigned to escort a convoy protecting supply caravans traveling along the famous Roman roads. These meticulously designed and expertly built routes formed the network that connected the farthest reaches of the empire to Rome, allowing for the swift and secure transportation of provisions, weapons, and reinforcements. As Flavius traverses these roads, he marvels at the engineering mastery of the Romans. He observes how the routes are carefully planned, featuring bridges, tunnels, and primitive signage to ensure that troops can move effectively even in adverse conditions. This infrastructure not only facilitated military movement, but also enabled logistics to adapt to diverse terrains and climates, strengthening the empire's cohesion. Flavius's experience highlights the crucial importance of Roman roads, a legacy that endured for centuries and later inspired modern transportation networks. These highways were the arteries that kept Rome's power alive, connecting cultures and enabling rapid responses to crises throughout the empire. If you're amazed by Roman engineering, hit the like button to show that history is still relevant today. The power of water, naval and river logistics. In a surprising turn, Flavius gets the opportunity to board one of Rome's naval vessels. During this voyage across the Mediterranean, he discovers another key aspect of imperial logistics, the control of maritime and river routes. This logistical dimension was crucial for securing supplies and troop mobility, linking the empire not only by land, but also by water. On board, the legionary observes how the Romans managed the protection of trade and transport routes. Control over the Mare Nostrum, our sea, was a strategic necessity to prevent invasions, block enemy access, and ensure that food, weapons, and other supplies reached their destinations safely. Additionally, river routes, such as those provided by the Danube, Rhine, and Nile, complemented the logistical network, offering quick and secure alternatives for troop movements in hard-to-reach regions. This experience broadens Flavius's understanding of the empire, showing that Roman supremacy was not just about terrestrial power, but also about the ability to dominate waterways. Naval logistics proved decisive in events like the Battle of Actium, where control of the sea determined the outcome of significant conflicts. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to command a fleet in such challenging times? Leave a comment with your thoughts. Siege warfare, strategy and patience in battle. After returning from naval routes, Flavius finds himself immersed in a siege operation where patience and meticulous planning prove to be crucial. In this scenario, the Roman army must maintain a continuous supply line while isolating the enemy, preventing reinforcements from arriving. The tension of the siege is mixed with the discipline of the soldiers, who understand that success depends on every logistical detail. During the siege, our legionary witnesses the tireless work of engineers and commanders in constructing barricades, assault towers, and maintaining internal supply routes. The operation demands flawless coordination to ensure that despite the hardships imposed by the isolation, the troops remain well-fed and motivated. This strategy, applied in numerous conflicts, underscores how logistics can be the silent weapon that determines the fate of a battle. Siege warfare is not just about brute force, it requires endurance and organization. Flavius realizes that by cutting off the enemy's supply lines, Rome can impose its superiority indirectly, depleting the adversary's resources and breaking their will to fight. This tactic, which proved decisive in many historical episodes, demonstrates that victory is often built through patience and strategic foresight. Transporting heavy weapons, innovation on the battlefield. With the siege concluded and the troops constantly on the move, Flavius faces a new challenge: the transportation of siege machines. Catapults, ballistae, and siege towers need to be assembled and disassembled as battles demand. He closely observes the work of Roman engineers who showcase a unique ability to adapt, constructing temporary bridges and access ramps to transport these massive machines across difficult terrain. During this period, our legionary witnesses how logistics, combined with engineering, transforms natural obstacles into tactical advantages. Every piece of equipment, carefully handled and repositioned, is part of a larger strategy to breach enemy defenses. The agility of the engineers and the precision of the soldiers form an unbeatable duo, turning battlefields into true laboratories of military innovation. Flavius realizes that moving weapons is not just about physical strength, but also strategic intelligence. This process allowed Rome to overcome challenges that initially seemed insurmountable. If you were impressed by this display of ingenuity, share this video with your friends and help spread this incredible historical knowledge. The transformation of Flavius, the legacy of Roman logistics. At the end of his long journey, Flavius Maximus returns a transformed man. Each experience, from his first encounter with supply warehouses to the transportation of war machines, has left a profound mark on his perception of what truly makes an army invincible. He now understands that logistics was not merely a support function for battles. It was the central pillar that kept the empire cohesive and powerful. This personal transformation reflects the evolution of a young recruit into a veteran who comprehends the complexity of a system that goes beyond the simple act of fighting. Flavius takes pride in having been part of the intricate mechanism that shaped the destiny of one of history's greatest empires. He carries with him the lesson that every detail, every decision, and every resource carefully managed contributed to the vast power of Rome. Our journey with Flavius Maximus has come to an end, but the lessons of Roman logistics remain eternal. Each stage, from warehouses to roads, from medical care to the transport of heavy weaponry, shows us how Rome masterfully combined bravery with strategic intelligence to build an empire that withstood the test of time. This story teaches us that in war and in life, success often lies in the details and in meticulous organization. If you enjoyed this journey through time and want more fascinating stories, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video about ancient Rome and its mighty empire.